Hello everyone. So welcome you in our computer class. This is our class 6 computer class. So today we will know about the different type of computer according to size, according to technology and the same. So children, as we all are knowing that our world is full of the different person, different animals we have, different plants we have. Same as according to basis, according to size, according to their uses, computers are classified into different size. So in this class, we will see the different classification of the computer. So here you can see classification of computer according to size. Computers are divided into three types. First one is a supercomputer, mainframe computer, mini computer and the microcomputer. According to size, the computer are classified into four types. And if we are talking about the technology, computer again it's divided into different category like a first generation computer, second generation computer, third generation computer and the fourth generation computer. So, computers are classified in a four types according to the technology, and then according to based on the signal. If you are talking about the signal, computer again it is divided into three parts. First one is a normal signal, second is a digital, and third one is a hybrid signal. So, according to signal, again computer are divided into three parts. So, let me know about one by one each of the computer like a supercomputer, mainframe, micro and mini computer. So after a classification, let me know about one by one what is a supercomputer. Super, as the name is a super, that means everything will be very high, very storage, everything is very high. So let us see the characteristic of a supercomputer. The supercomputer, it is the fastest computer in the world. And second, as a name is a super, that means their cost is also very super, that means it's a very costly. And if it is costly, if it is very fast, that means need a big processor. So it has a very big processor, it has a large storage data, and it is work with a very high speed, and the speed is measured in a flop or a MIPS. What is a flop? Flop means floating operation per second. The speed of supercomputer is measured in a flop or a MIPS. MIPS is a multi information per second. And then these are the characteristics of a supercomputer. So let me see the example of the supercomputer. So here first Indian supercomputer is the Param 2000. And some more supercomputer we have like Tina, Titan, IBM Squire. These are the example of the supercomputer. So let us see where these supercomputers are used. Basically, this supercomputer, as the name is a super, that means it's used in a larger area. That means is uses in the meteorological department, in space and research, satellite, weather forecasting. And when the scientists they need a large calculation of a number, they use a supercomputer. So hope all you have understand. So next let us see the mainframe. Mainframe computer, it is also a very fastest computer like a supercomputer. Thousands of people can work together. So you can be assumed if 1,000 people work together, that means it's a very fastest. It is a multi-purpose, multi-programming, and it is very costly also like a supercomputer. It also has a large storage, high storage space, high storage, same as the supercomputer. So if it is the same of the supercomputer, that means their uses are also same. So example of the mainframe computer is a IBM 4381. What is a IBM means? IBM, what is the full form of IBM? is a Indian business, and M means machine. So this is a company, it developer IBM 4382. So uses are the same. It is also used in a meteorological department, space, satellite, research work, medicine. These are the workplace of the mainframe computer. So next let us move in a mini computer. Mini computer, that means it is smaller than the mainframe computer but bigger than the microcomputer. It also has a it also work with a fast, not like a mainframe or a supercomputer, but it is also work with a fast speed. It also has a larger memory, large processor it has, and the large computing power it is also has, and it is a multi-purpose user. That means one time we can be do the several work together. So it is a multi-purpose, multi-programming mini computer. So it is also called a server user. That means in an organization we can be connect all the computer with a main computer, and several computer can work together. So it is also called a server user, or it is basically used in a office or a one department. The uses of the mini computer are, it is also used in a research work, industrial application, big offices, factories, bank. They use a mini computer. So here we have a microcomputer. Micro, that means small in a size. Generally we use at a home our PC. What is the full form of PC? PC means personal computer. PC means, P means personal, C means computer. That means microcomputer we use for a personal use. So we are using the personal computer. So already we are knowing the characteristic of the personal computer. It is used in a common uses, single user, and it is used in a we can be purchase it in a very cheaper rate. That means we have to pay some money, but not like a supercomputer, mainframe computer. So it is very easy to use. Anybody can be use it very easily without any difficulty. They can be use it, and it is basically it is used in a school, some offices, some industries, or at a home also. So these are the uses of the microcomputer. So next we will move on the next category, generation of the computer. Go. So children, after a category of the size, next we will see the computer language. That means in this time we will see the different generation of language. So what are the different types of language? So let us see. Let us see. Computer language. So to enter into the first step of making a program, we need a one programming language. So what is a programming language? So programming language, the language that computer understand. This is called a programming language. So we have learned in class 5 already, teacher had taught you that the computer processes the raw data to produce meaningful result. How we get the result? That means our result is depend on the raw data. This raw data, when it start a process, it gives us the result. So what is the raw data here? Raw data, that means it is a combination of a number, characters, and some symbols. These are called the raw data, and when it process, it gives us the result. So how it shows the result? So first of all, any user First, they enter the raw data by the typing or by the uses of the mouse with a user has to give instruction to the computer to make it understand what we want to the computer to do to get the work done, which are sent to the computer with the help of the input devices. What are the input devices? Input devices like a keyboard, like a mouse. With the help of this keyboard or a mouse, the user give the result, give the command or give the instruction to the computer. It gives the command to the computer, and after a process, this computer give us the result. That means the user uses some language, and with the according to that language, according to that symbol or characters or numbers, the computer it's take as an instruction, and after taking this instruction, it started a process inside the CPU, and then after it give us a result. So this is the work, this is the hierarchy to get the result. So here the user that gives the command to the computer, it is called a program. So what is a program? Program is a set of command or an instruction. That means the set of program or a command is called it is called a program, and those who gives the program, they are called a programmer. So here, up to here children, all you have understood? So try to write these things in your copy also. So the question is that in which language the user can give the command to the computer? Of course we are knowing that we write the command in English. That means common language of a computer is English. But can you tell me this English language is understood by the computer? Can computer understand the English language? No, computer only understand a machine language. Which language? Machine language. And what is a machine language? Machine. So computer understand only a machine language. What is a machine language? Do you have remember children this 0101 format? It is called a machine language or a binary language also. Binary language. Machine language is also called a binary language. So after the here up to machine language, let me see the different generation of language. In the first generation of language, it is started in the year of 1942 to 1954. 1942 to 1954, this generation of language are called a first generation language. In this time, computer use only a machine language, that means 0101 format. So that means if we are using a first generation language, that means if we are writing a program code and suppose we have done any mistake, so it is very difficult to find the error. In a normal, if we are writing like a read, and if this read is written in a binary language like a 0101, and by mistake if we written like a 010101, so can we find out the problem? Can we find the error? No, because it is very difficult to find. But if it is written in a like a spelling in a English language, we can understand it very easily. Suppose if I am written read spelling like a REED read. So can you detect the error? Yes, of course you can be very easily, you can be find the error. The read spelling is this one, but I have written this one. So mistake very easily you can be find. But here if we are writing in this 0101 format, it is very difficult to find the problem. So after a problem, after difficulties, the programmer they develop a new generation of language, that is a second generation language. So to overcome of this problem, in the second generation, the programmer use a assembler. They use a assembly language. That means here assembly language. That means they started a using of the characters. Characters, that means combination of symbols, numbers, or characters, or a alphabet. So once they started using of these symbols, number and characters, they very easily they find the problem, and it is very easy to use also. Here you can see here the difficulties. If we are going to be find out the difficulties, it is very difficult. But if we are using a second generation language, very easily we can be find the problem. So this second generation language, it is started in the year of 1952 to 1964. This is the duration of the second generation language. So here all have understood, in a second generation language we have used a assembly language, so it is called a assembly language or a low level language, LLL, and it is started in the year of 1952 to 1964. So after overcome of this problem, let's move on the third generation language. So in a third generation language, this is also called a high level language. That means in this time the programmer started a use of the various languages. That means the various type of languages they had generated, like a C++, C, Java, QBasic. That means for the using of these languages, they use a special type of structure, a special type of syntax. So this time it is called a third generation language or a high level language. That means in this time programmer had developed a special type of syntax, a special type of program. These languages they follow the special grammar and it's work very fast. And when it is started, third generation language, it is started in the year of 1964 to 1970. After a third generation language, the programmer had developed a fourth generation language. It is called a in a fourth generation language, it is called a modern high level language. While working in the generation, the user need to only focus on the output. It is focus on only the output. That means the language they use, it is a special type, a special syntax. That means various upgraded function they use, and in this time they use a translator, a special type of translator. They write a program code in English, and translator translate the English language into machine language, and machine language it again translate into common English language, and it give out the result. So here we have learned the different generation of language: first generation, second generation, third generation, and the fourth generation language. So what are the difference you have seen in between the high level language and the low level language? So in a high level language, the programmer is written in a simple English language. They use in a simple English language by using alphabet and numbers. And a low level language, in a low level language, the programmer use only the 0 and 1 format. That means they write only the binary words. And in a high level language, it is a machine independent, but the low level language is totally depend on the machine. In a high level language, they use a translator to translate the English language to the machine language, and machine language again it translate into the English language. That means they need a one translator. But in a low level language, they can't be, they doesn't work, they doesn't use any translator. So here we have covered the computer language one by one, like a first generation, second generation and third generation language. Hope all you have understood. So next we will see the language processor. So let me see, our next topic is a language processor. What is a language processor? I may just tell you the one, I just explain one example. Suppose children, if I started talking in a Chinese, can you understand my Chinese word? Are you able to understand? No, na? That means if someone is talking in another language and you need to be understand, that time you need a one mediator that can be convert that Chinese language into Hindi language or English language. Same as in a computer. Computer also feel the difficulties. So programmer had developed the machine that is called a processor. Processor, that means a translator. Translator, that means translator is a language processor that convert machine language into common English language. Understood children? What is a translator? Translator is a language processor that convert a machine language into common language. Some of the translator are compiler, assembler,